top-rated tourist attractions and things to do in Vienna. Capital of the Republic of Austria, and one of Europe's most visited cities, Vienna owes much of its charm and rich history to its splendid location on the banks of the Danube River. For centuries the gateway between West and East Europe, it was the natural nucleus of the once sprawling Habsburg Empire, and to this day remains Austria's most important commercial and cultural hub. Vienna continues to attract visitors with its many great historical sightseeing opportunities, its fabled collections of art, glittering palaces, and exceptional musical heritage that's still carried on in concert halls and one of the world's great opera houses. The Hofburg. For more than 6 centuries the seat of the Habsburgs, and the official residence of every Austrian ruler since 1275, the Hofburg is perhaps the most historically significant of Vienna's palaces. The official seat of the Austrian president, this sprawling complex consists of numerous buildings reflecting various periods, including architectural flourishes from the Gothic, Renaissance, Baroque, and Rococo movements. All told, this vast complex covers 59 acres with 18 groups of buildings, including 19 courtyards and 2,600 rooms. Its main attractions are the Imperial Apartments, the Sci-Fi Museum, and the Silver Collection, while other notable sites within the complex include the Imperial Chapel, Burgkapelle, and the Hofburg Treasury with its large collection of imperial regalia and relics of the Holy Roman Empire. Informative guided tours are available in English. Schönbrunn Palace and Gardens. The spectacular 18th century Schönbrunn Palace, Schloss Schalbrunn, is worth visiting not only for its magnificent architecture, but also for its beautiful park-like setting. One of Vienna's top tourist attractions, this beautiful Baroque palace contains more than 1,441 rooms and apartments, including those once used by Empress Maria Theresa. Tour highlights include a chance to see the Imperial Apartments, including Emperor Franz Joseph's walnut room, and his bedroom, which still has the small soldier's bed in which he died. Of Empress Maria Theresa's rooms, highlights include her richly furnished and decorated garden apartments, along with her breakfast room with its floral artwork created by her daughters. Schönbrunn Park and Gardens is another must-see here, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The park, with its sweeping vistas and sumptuous Baroque gardens, is one of several free things to do in Vienna, although you will have to pay to enter the maze and some of the adjoining buildings, such as the 1883 Palm House. If traveling with kids, visit the Children's Museum for a chance to see them dressed up as a prince or princess. St. Stephens Cathedral. Vienna's most important Gothic edifice, and the cathedral church of the Archbishopric since 1722, St. Stephen's Cathedral, Stephensdom, sits in the historic center of Vienna. The original 12th century Romanesque church was replaced by a late Romanesque one in the 13th century, the remains of which are the massive gate and the heathen towers, Heidenturm. Next came reconstruction in the Gothic style in the 14th century, along with the addition of the choir and the chapels of St. Eligius, St. Terna, and St. Catherine, while the famous 137-meter-high South Tower, Steffel, belongs to the 15th century. Improvements and further construction followed from the 17th to 19th centuries, and the whole structure was rebuilt after World War II. Highlights include climbing the 343 steps to the Steffel's watch room for the spectacular views, and the North Tower, home to the massive Pommern Bell, a fast lift takes visitors to a viewing platform. Other features of note are the 14th century catacombs, and the cathedral treasure, containing many of the cathedral's most important artifacts. The Spanish Riding School. Dating back to the time of Emperor Maximilian II, the superb Spanish riding school, Spanish Hofreitschule, was established after the ruler had the famous Lipizzaner horses introduced to his courtesans in 1562. Today, it's one of Vienna's leading attractions, and one of the leading riding schools in the world, thrilling audiences with fabulous displays of equestrian skills in the Baroque winter riding school in the grounds of the Hofburg Palace, where it has been located since 1735. Tickets to these popular performances sell out quickly, so be sure to book as far in advance as possible. Belvedere Palace. Among Vienna's most popular attractions, Belvedere Palace is really two splendid Baroque buildings, the lower, Unters, Belvedere, and the upper, Obers, Belvedere. Highlights of the upper palace include the ground floor hall with its statues, and the ceremonial staircase with its rich stucco relief and frescoes. Also worth seeing is the Marble Hall, a stunning two-story hall with numerous period sculptures, paintings, and ceiling frescoes. The lower palace also boasts a marble hall, this one noted for its oval plaster medallions and rich ceiling fresco, as well as a marble gallery built to house a collection of historic statues. Other notable buildings include the Winter Palace, a Baroque building that once housed the court treasury, the orangery, the palace stables, home to the medieval treasury, and the Belvedere gardens and fountains linking the two palaces. The Österreichische Galerie Belvedere is an art museum in the Belvedere Palace, known for its extensive collections, including a rich array of sculptures and panel paintings from the 12th to the 16th centuries. But it is perhaps best known for Austrian symbolist artist Gustav Klimt's The Kiss, a masterpiece of early modern art. Vienna Zoo. The origins of the Vienna Zoo, Tiergarten Schönbrunn, can be traced to Emperor Francis I's menagerie, founded in 1752, and the oldest continually operating zoo in the world. With many of its original Baroque buildings still intact, it's one of the most pleasant zoos in Europe to visit, particularly if you spend a little time seeking refreshment in the original 18th century Imperial breakfast pavilion that now houses a great cafe. A highlight of the zoo's more than 750 species are its giant pandas, including cubs, as well as the many fascinating creatures housed in the interactive rainforest house and aquarium. If you're traveling to Vienna with children, be sure to check the zoo's official website for details of feeding times, always a fun family experience. Also worth checking into is the availability of special themed and backstage guided tours. If after visiting the zoo, you've still got time in your Vienna travel itinerary for more critters, check out Haus de Meers, a large public aquarium situated in a World War II flak tower, and the Butterfly House, Schmetterlinghaus, located next to the Opera House, and a pleasant place to unwind after all that sightseeing. The Prater and the giant Ferris wheel. Visiting the Prater, a large natural park between the Danube and the Danube Canal, is a little like stepping into another world. Covering an area of 3,200 acres, this vast park, once a royal hunting ground, has long been one of Vienna's most popular recreation areas. There's something here for everyone, from thrills and spills in the Wurstel area, with its old-fashioned theme park rides, to dining and dancing, to the dinosaur-themed park for the kids. A highlight for sightseers is taking a ride on the famous Giant Wheel, a Viennese landmark that has provided fine views over the city since 1896. If you can afford it, go for the super luxurious cabin, suitable for parties of up to 12. Other park highlights include the Prater Zierer Monument, a larger-than-life statue of composer C.M. Zierer built in 1960, the Prater Museum with its displays documenting the park's history, a planetarium, and the Lilliputbahn miniature steam railroad traversing a 4-kilometer line near the main avenue. Elsewhere in this vast park there's room enough for horseback riding, swimming in the stadium pool, football, cycling, tennis, and bowls. Also worth visiting is nearby Danube Park, Donau Park, a 250-acre open space that's also home to a fun miniature railroad, an artificial lake, Lake Iris, and a theater. Visiting Prater Park at night is also fun. The Vienna State Opera House. One of the world's largest and most splendid theaters, the Vienna State Opera House, Wiener Staatsoper, has hosted many of the world's most prominent composers, conductors, soloists, and dancers. Operatic and ballet performances are staged at least 300 times a year, fueled by an obsession with music that goes as far back as 1625, when the first Viennese court opera was performed. The current massive opera house was built in 1869 and is notable for its French early Renaissance style, while interior highlights include a grand staircase leading to the first floor, the Schwind Foyer, named after its paintings of famous opera scenes, and the exquisite tea room with its valuable tapestries. Capable of accommodating an audience of 2,211 along with 110 musicians, the Opera House is also home to the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. If music is your thing, you may also want to pay a visit to Wiener Musikverein, a concert hall that serves as home for the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. Tickets can be booked online in advance. And the House of Music, Haus der Musik, offers visitors a fascinating glimpse into sound and music through interactive displays and demonstrations. Kunstsisches Museum and Maria-Theresien-Platz. Vienna's Kunstsisches Museum is housed in a magnificent building created expressly to show off the tremendous art collections of the Habsburg royal family. The superb collection of Dutch art features the world's largest collection of works by Pierre Bruegel the Elder, including his masterpiece Tower of Babel. There are also paintings by Raphael, Titian, Bellini, Caravaggio, and Vermeer, plus portraits by Velázquez. The museum's specialties are late Italian Renaissance, Baroque, and Flemish painting, but the collections go far beyond those with classical Greek and Roman art and Egyptian collections. Guided tours are available. Worth a visit is the Museum Café, especially for its atrium setting and tall, elegantly decorated walls and ceiling. The museum overlooks Maria Theresienplatz, the focal point of which is the grand monument to Empress Maria Theresa. The statue was commissioned by Franz Joseph I and was unveiled in 1887. This massive monument depicts the Empress on her throne, while surrounded by major personages of her day, including a number of generals on horseback. The high reliefs depict illustrious figures from the fields of politics, economics, and the arts, including Haydn, Gluck, and Mozart. Vienna City Hall. Vienna's City Hall, Wiener Rathaus, is an impressive neo-Gothic building that serves as the city's administrative center. Remarkable for its size, it occupies nearly 14,000 square meters of the former parade ground. This attractive building was completed in 1883 and is notable for the famous Rathausmann on top of its 98-meter-high tower, a banner carrying iron figure presented to the city as a gift from its master locksmith. The arcaded courtyard in the center of the building is the largest of 7 courtyards and is used for popular summer concerts. Highlights of a guided tour of the building include the Schmidt-Halle, the large entrance into which carriages would once drive to deposit their passengers, and the 2 grand staircases leading to the Assembly Hall. Other sites included in the tour are the Heraldic Rooms, the City Senate Chamber, notable for its coffered ceiling decorated with gold leaf, and its huge Art Nouveau candelabra, and the mayor's reception room.